The US military says it will begin blockading all Iranian ports starting Monday, targeting ships entering or leaving Iran's coastal waters. According to the US Central Command, the operation will apply to all maritime traffic heading to Iranian ports in the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. But the US says it will not block vessels passing through the Strait of Hormuz if they are traveling to non-Iranian ports. That clarification appears to scale back an earlier statement from the President Donald Trump, who had suggested that the United States could block the entire strait.
10 o'clock tomorrow, we have a blockade going into effect. That'll be 10 o'clock tomorrow. Other nations are working so that Iran will not be able to sell oil.
The announcement immediately rattled energy markets. US crude oil prices jumped 8% to over $104 a barrel, while Brent crude rose 7% to more than $102. The reason is simple. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most critical shipping lanes in the world, carrying about 1/5 of global oil and liquefied natural gas supplies. Since the war began in late February, shipping through the narrow waterway has slowed dramatically after Iran effectively tightened control over traffic. The blockade move comes just one day after marathon peace talks in Islamabad ended without an agreement. Negotiations between the United States and Iran lasted more than 20 hours, but both sides blamed each other for the breakdown.
We have been at it now for 21 hours, and we've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement. And I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said a memorandum of understanding had been just inches away before US negotiators shifted their demands. Meanwhile, Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf said Washington failed to win the trust of Iranian delegation. Inside Iran, officials and hardline lawmakers are projecting confidence. They say the negotiation team refused to cross what they call Iran's red lines, including eliminating nuclear enrichment and surrendering control over the Strait of Hormuz. Senior judiciary official praised the delegation for guarding the rights of the nation, while pro-government supporters have been gathering nightly in major cities. Iran Revolutionary Guard has also warned that any foreign military ships approaching the Strait of Hormuz would face a strong response. Despite the tough rhetoric, the war itself remained in a fragile pause. A 2-week ceasefire between the US and Iran is meant to last April 22. But the analysts say the collapse of negotiation and the new blockade plan could push both sides towards further escalation. At the same time, Russia has offered to continue facilitating diplomacy, with President Vladimir Putin speaking to Iran's leadership about possible mediation. For now, the conflict is entering a tense new phase. The ceasefire is still technically in place, but will naval blockade, rising oil prices, and threats around the Strait of Hormuz. The question is whether diplomacy can still prevent the war from widening.